Today we're installing the Fog Hashing C6. I'm Boss, that's Alexa, that's Dennis with BMA, that's Colby. Oh, my shirt!
You guys look like Avengers. Are you okay?
Yep. Oh, we got a new pump. Dennis, rejoice. That's actually pretty cool. So I mean, normally you get a tub with it, and they're including some sort of pump with it. Look at this pump.
That's a big one.
Chrome. Well, first dent. Might as well just get out the way. I really like this like mesh guard they have on there. It makes it just like really easy and obvious to see the flow. And what did you say the effect was? Lavender effect?
Lavender?
Yep.
Lavender down lavender.
Yeah. I really appreciate like this flow plate on the bottom. This is like the stuff you don't notice until you do all these other ones. But it's like there's no metal pieces we have to put on the miners, whether that's stands or the guard things. All right, so how are we powering the Fog Hashing C6? We ran a 125 amp line, which I believe is 2-wire copper, from the hard drive shed, the green shed, because we're out of electrical capacity in the Immersion shed electric panel. So we ran that into this disconnect right here. We also have a slit here on the side where we're going to put one of the Drycooler meters in. We're using the meter box faceplate there. And this will give us a real-time readout of how many amps are being used, cumulative kilowatt hours consumed, things like that. I did not realize that the Fog Hashing PDU was this advanced, so it's actually going to provide all of that data to me. It's a smart PDU, but either way, we've already cut this in and done the work, and I do really like these Drycooler meters. As you can see here, they just make it easy to decipher information. So, hey, already have the stuff, already cut the hole, we're gonna put it in. Looks like it's gonna work. This is the gauge we're using. I just grabbed these off Amazon for like 20 bucks a piece. You can also buy these from the meter box, which makes a product called the meter box, which is injection molded case that replaces the receptacle option, and the meter just pops right into it. So let's open up this panel. So this is a 200 amp single phase panel here that feeds the hard drive shed. There is a 200 amp sub panel inside the hard drive shed. So we're using a lug, it's called a lug kit, and it basically routes all of this electric right here into that sub panel. And we've come out of that sub panel with that 125 amp circuit and ran it back to the Immersion shed over here. It's not the ideal way to go about this, but it's a way to get the juice into the shed where I need it. So after discussing with my electrician, he was worried about the panel bucking if we ran it right out of the panel, so we ran it out of the sub panel. So this is the hard drive shed. This is panel C, which is fed from panel F here in this equation. So we have everything wired in here. throughout the hard drive shed, and it's wired to have a capacity more than 200 amps. But I'm not using anywhere close to that right now. So this is basically available electricity, right? So install this 125 amp circuit and then ran it back to the immersion shed. I'm working on pulling 3-phase out here and building out a whole megawatt of electrical capacity, but I'm not there yet. So I've got to find a makeshift way to get the power to run this and continue to expand the mining farm. So the Fog Hashing C6 doesn't have a switch built into it. For example, like your previous B6D model did. Yeah. So we have to make sure that we have a Ethernet switch, right? So just something simple like a TP-Link 8-port is going to be plenty, right? Because we can only put 6 miners in here. Then we have 1 port for the uplink, and then we have another port to say daisy chain this onto something else. So this is the smallest switch that will work for you. An Ethernet switch just basically turns one Ethernet port into numerous.
Alright, so we are prepping the miners for immersion. So the first one is a T21. Vosk already installed Brain's immersion firmware on here, so you don't need fan spoofers with that when it's in immersion mode. So we will be removing these fans and getting it prepped.
Wired everything up, turn it on, and make sure the PDU comes on. So we're showing 246 volts.
Nice.
So should be good to go.
Colby, what did you say isn't paying off for Dennis?
Huh?
His
workouts.
Yeah. He's getting strong. Oh, he's going to give us a show right here. Yeah. Dennis! Woo! Yeah. All right, we're going to cut holes in the shed to get the piping through. So with the C6, it comes with hose that's pre-made. You don't have to make any connections. You just need to put a gasket on the inside, which it comes with the gaskets you insert there. Has a 90-degree bend here in the actual metal fixture. Predetermined length, so maybe it's great. They have extension hose if you need a longer run. This is a pretty long run. This is a lot more hose than we personally need here. So we've got a whole saw kit here, Milwaukee 2.5 inch. We've got our guide bit. So we're just going to punch these through. And the fog hashing unit, if you remember, it uses immersion fluid throughout the whole system. It's not a dual loop. So this hose is going to carry the hot immersion fluid out, run it through the Drycooler, which is like a radiator. It's going to cool it down, and then it's going to pump it. There's one pump in this unit, and that pump is going to continually circulate the fluid in and out, cool it off, keep the miners cool. Hopefully we'll have good longevity with the equipment. And so let's get the drilling.
Alright, Colby, so what did we just do with this cable?
So I just took this, which is powered to the dry cooler, so it runs the fans, and then just fed it straight in through one of the holes before it feeds the tube in, so that we have some movement. And that actually will get powered straight from the C6 itself.
Right, okay, so out to in.
So make sure we put our gaskets in.
All right, so we're gonna dunk 3 DG1s. These fan connections are a little bit off from the standard configuration you'll see in amp miners among many other manufacturers. At first, to be honest, I was pretty pissed. But after closer inspection and full credit to Colby, he's like, what if I just bend them? So we're bending these prongs in order to fit the fan spoofers in, and these fan spoofers have a fixed orientation. So all four of them, which is 16 connection points, need to line up in one sequence.
They just need a little encouragement.
They need a little encouragement. You see, without bending them, it doesn't work. Colby, work the magic. It's a client screwdriver.
These are like 200 degrees too.
Yeah, they were just hashing away. Mining some of that Dogecoin, huh?
Gotten good at it.
That was pretty fast and smooth. So the best part about today, as we work through this Fog Hashing C6 install and deployment, is the fact that in the shed right now it's a cool 105 degrees. So we're working through the prep on this. We need to make sure the miners are good to go, so they're basically ready to be dunked. Like I mentioned earlier, we can enable immersion mode if they have aftermarket firmware capabilities like the S21 and T21 Bitcoin miners do. These DG1s mine Dogecoin and Litecoin. They don't have that kind of support at all. So we're going to use fan spoofers and basically trick it into thinking the fans are working at a hardware level. We still need to get a switch up here. I also forgot to mention earlier, this is a smart PDU, which is really cool. So this can be remotely power cycled, things like that. So we're getting closer. So far we've been at it for about 5 hours today. We're going to look at how we want these hoses to lay, and as well as the power cable. May just bring more of the power cable inside and bundle that one up. As far as the actual hoses though, probably maybe pull them and get them to kind of double back here behind the actual dry cooler. We used 5-inch lag bolt hardware into a 6x6, which we just cut into thirds to basically act as feet, running it perpendicular to the actual dry cooler. What's really cool about these fans though, direct drive. I didn't know that, and they've got teeth on them. Here's the Fog Hashing B6D dry cooler. The C6 dry cooler is basically new and improved in comparison. For this unit, we ran two 6x6s parallel with it, and it's fine. It works. Unfortunately, the 6x6 did split a bit on that connection, but it just seems to be more stable. It just makes more sense to run the wood perpendicular. For example, you can see here on the little C2, and we're just doing a full-blown tour now. There's just no way this thing could ever possibly tip over. And if you want to get crazy, you can mount it into concrete like we did on another immersion install. Yeah, we got a lot of installs out here. Wow, look at those whirly birds. In. Arrow. We're back at it again with another lunch vlog. Oop. Cheers. Italian BMTs. Dennis has a fried pickle tuna sandwich. We have ham and cheese.
I guess technically it's called a pickleball club.
She falls for that every time. So I'm pretty hyped. The Fog Hashing C6 is nothing short of just absolutely friggin' sweet and impressive. This Drycooler, the direct drive fans, even just the way that they have the heat sinks built onto these, this is an impressive piece. And it's entirely regulated by temperature, so it's not communicating with the Fog Hashing actual immersion tank for the temperature. What it's doing is just reading the temperature here in the actual Drycooler and adjusting in real time to be able to, you know, spin up or down, whatever it needs to do. So this is very energy efficient. Right now, 3 of the miners are running. They're pulling about 46 amps of electricity. And this thing, honestly, barely running, very quiet, very impressive. This thing is sweet. Unfortunately, like, I'm just so done with these like no-name brand, never fucking heard of them ever miners. You know, like the Elphapex, I use the fan spoofers. They don't work in immersion. I knew I should have tested it, but I didn't, of course. I just sent it. And now I'm paying the price. So I'm gonna have to undunk 3 DG1s. And I haven't even broken even on the first one that I bought for like, I don't know, it was like $5,000 or so. So I haven't even broken even on one. We did receive one to review when we reviewed the DG1 Plus. But I mean, I'm so sick of stuff like this. Like amp miners, they work, they run, they get it done. This real data temperature readout here on the PDU is also freaking sweet. So we decided to just go ahead and cut 2 more intake fans in. I was looking at using 14-inch and 12-inch exhaust fans, but the way they're gonna fit, basically not going entirely between the 2x4s, I'm gonna go down to more 10-inch fans and pretty much just build a box and just put them right in between the actual studs. So I'll evaluate, you know, what I can do and where for that with that sizing. But to bring it back to the C6, I mean, it's sweet. Obviously, I have a little more cleanup and touch up, you know, stuff to do. But 44 Celsius in there, very cool. It's crushing it. I mean, it just looks top notch. You get like the Apple Mac Pro vibes with the top piece. But so far, the S21 and T21 are running well in there. Granted, the thing's basically running at half capacity. It has been so hot today. It's 108 degrees in here right now. So I'm gonna go get some Chick-fil-A and undunk these DG1s tomorrow. I hate cleaning immersion fluid, is freaking disgusting. I don't have a choice here though. There's no way around this. Taking out the trash, because I mean those units, they probably, you know, like $10 or so a day, especially before the Antminer L9s are produced in volume. I would definitely be able to be more excited about the C6 deployment here in general if I didn't just take 3 of my profitable miners offline in the process there. So I'm gonna go forage for food, and probably tomorrow I'll collect my thoughts and close this video out. So today I've got myself a situation here. So I've got some other miners, and I'm going to be taking some miners, specifically the Elphapex DG1 Dogecoin miners that do not work in immersion fluid. Unfortunately, I have found out. We're taking those out of the Fog Hashing C6, which has been an incredible unit to install and use thus far, but I've only been able to use it at 50% capacity because I put 3 DG1s in it. All of them suck, all of them do not work. So I have an Antminer KS3, a Caspa miner behind me that will be getting dunked among other miners as replacements for removing these DG1s. So step 1, I'm gonna pull that miner in there, get it prepped for immersion, start pulling these DG1s out, and we're gonna have to clean them. That's really gonna suck. All right, so I got that miner prepped. As you saw, we'll come in here. I gave these DG1s one last opportunity to start mining, and And if we see 46 amps, which we do, they're not mining. Pieces of crap. So let's go ahead and shut this down. It's so hot in here. It's 103 degrees. We just cut 2 more intake vents in, but I need more exhaust. I'm just not moving enough air. So pulled another miner out, got it in the tub, took the handles off. I have submerged the KS3 with, of course, the fan spoofer installed on it. I'm just gonna put 1 miner in each tub. One thing of note, it's kind of obscure info in a way, but the DG1s have different fans. It's easy to recognize them with this little wire shroud they have. It's also weird is these some Home Depot containers I have different bottoms on some of them. But yeah, this sucks. I'm pouring sweat, panicking, trying to make sure I don't drip into the tank. So, trying to stay busy, as they say. Embrace this. Yes. Black metal on the truck bed. Congrats. I've got 3 DG1s. Oh, D stands for damn. Got 3 of these damn DG1s out of the immersion tank. I've got an Antminer KS3 installed. I have an Antminer K7 installed. And now I need to go grab another Antminer K7 off the rack. And then I just need to get that prepped for immersion. I'm skipping the cleaning stuff. You could call me a madman if you want, a genius, efficient, or an idiot. Jimmy! No! Been a couple of days since we last saw each other. Well, at least for me. I guess you're still here watching the same video. Oh, thanks. Here's what's gone down since I last saw you, I should say. So obviously, we completed the install on the Fog Hashing C6. It has been running phenomenal since we've completed it. Very cool. It's been 3 days since we've completed it, so it's been running 72 hours now. So you saw the DG1s weren't working. Plucked them out, cleaned them up with BMA, and got them back air-cooled in the pod. And they're working. I don't imagine they're going to be working as well after being immersed and then back to air-cool and cleaning solvent. But hey, it's the way it went, right? We're trying stuff out here. Sometimes it works and it's great. We have some kind of, breakthroughs. Other times we absolutely get in the place of those. I've dunked an Antminer KS3 mining Caspa, as well as 2 K7s, and of course we have the 2 S21s in there, as well as the T21 running on single phase electricity, which is really cool. All of those miners are running great. It's very hot outside right now. It's like 95 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 111 in the shed. I still need to install more exhaust fans. Obviously we did install the additional intake vents, so we have 3 of those, but it's 111 degrees inside of there right now. It's very uncomfortable, but the miners they're good. They're running cool enough, but those tanks, they radiate heat, and I'm not moving enough air through there to just cool the general atmosphere. It's good enough for now, but it's causing parasitic loss for me as I basically scale out immersion mining. This isn't really a problem you would have if you just threw one of these in your basement or just one of these in a shed. This is the problem of running 500 amps of electricity in this shed. I'm pulling 500 amps I really have to say I'm absolutely impressed with the fit and finish of really all their stuff. Their B6D, I see why they phased it out and moved to the C6. The C6 is just a true improvement. It's a great successor to their 6-miner unit. The C2, honestly, phenomenal for what it is. A sweet little 2-miner unit. That's great hobby style. It's so little, it's so easy, it's so quiet. Everything about it is just fun and engaging. And if you want to try immersion mining, go with that. Go with that one, absolutely. I wouldn't bother with the C1. It's all the work with the C2 and similar size for only half the miner capabilities. But the C6 is definitely like a perfect solution for, like, I want to deploy 6 miners, and miners are very expensive right now. There's a lot of very profitable, very expensive mining rigs you can buy. So deploying a 6 immersion miner unit like the Fog Hashing C6 in conjunction with 3 capital heavy miners, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. Which is why I put some of my best miners in the C6. And by the way, this is a mister. You can mist this and basically engage additional cooling capabilities for the C6 Drycooler. It's replaced their water curtain design on the previous model. I love the fact that they label things in and out. It made the install easy as can be. These fans on it are absolutely sweet. The nicest Drycooler fans I have compared to all the competitors here. So I'm very happy with the fit and finish and performance of those. They're very efficient, which is absolutely king. Make sure that you have an electric circuit because we were initially confused thinking that they hadn't wired the plug that needed to be wired on the tank, but they don't wire that. You basically need to wire the PDU, and you need to wire another 240 voltage circuit to power the Drycooler. I just happen to have some extra circuits literally right next to it, so I just plugged those right in. It's gonna be a little loud in here. I want to show you a couple things and talk through them, and then I'll step back outside. So welcome to the ever-growing VoskCoin immersion mining shed. It's all dirty. I got a ton of stuff I need to clean up. I got a workbench over here, storage rack, got a 6-miner unit, 3-miner unit, 2-miner unit, 6-miner unit, 8-miner unit, and this of course is a 6-miner unit. So I love this feature so much. I mean, just to click it, real-time readout, 49C, awesome. Let's compare it to its predecessor, 59C. Okay, so I'm pulling more juice in this tank, significantly more juice, and it is staying 10 degrees cooler. The C6 is absolutely a phenomenal improvement. It is running cooler than some of the competitor options in this shit as well, but you'll have to subscribe to check out the breakdown showdown video. I'm pretty excited for that thing. The clear top is so cool, having the ability to look in here and just look at your miners. You can also come in here and glance, like, do I have a fault over there? Is this one blinking normal? All good data to see. The big giant handles make it an absolute breeze to get this thing on and off. One person fell into a competitor enclosure because of the way the top mount is secured. That's literally impossible with the C6. But will absolutely make for a bad day if it happens to you. You'll notice there's some gunk buildup. I take full responsibility for that. All of my miners were already running in an air-cooled environment, so basically they were dirty. I didn't even spend 2 seconds trying to clean them. It was full send in here. I don't care what anyone says about anything, all right? You don't want this stuff on your skin. The end. So you can open this, which is basically a bleed valve. So I've had this open for a while. I think it's good to go. So I'm gonna fully close that to ensure that this is circulating as it should. And I know you're probably in the comments beating me up over that sticker. I'll get it. I think we actually overfilled this a little bit, but honestly it's fine. It's good enough. I may have to take some miners in and out here and there, get the fluid down. It's very hot, so the fluid expanded some, after that initial fill. So I'm just gonna monitor it. I'm gonna send a picture to Fog Hashing. They've got really good responsive support. And they'll let me know if they think I should drain it or something, reduce the level. So let's round it out. Honestly, unit's great. I'm very impressed, very happy. This is the easiest install we've ever done. It's something just you and a buddy could do. absolutely in basically a day of prep and then a day install, you know, casual. If you had an electrician or those skills on hand, you could start really early and finish it by end of day there as well. You run the lines into the PDU, terminate it, run it to your panel, that's done. Punch 2 holes in the wall for the pipes. You can just run the power cable through one of those bigger holes there as well, and fill it with fluid, open a little bleeder valve, and you're pretty much done. Obviously you have to prep your miners for immersion there as well. But yeah, no, this is absolutely impressive. I'm thankful for the opportunity, but if I didn't think this thing was awesome, I wouldn't say it was awesome. This thing's awesome and it's easy. And that's what mining needs more of, to reduce that barrier to entry. Make products just, you know, easy, right? So I can grab this and I can watch this video or someone else's video or read the guide and be like, you know what? I could do this. This isn't that bad. I mean, this thing even comes with a colored manual. They are just raising the bar for the user experience for immersion mining. And at this point, you know, between their web shop, the ease of deployment, and everything else, competitors are gonna have to play catch up. So it's hot as fuck. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you like this video and review. Please let me know any questions you have that I may not have covered in this video, in a follow-up video. Also, what do you want me to look at? What do you want me to test? What are your questions? What is stopping you from getting one of these? Or maybe you're just an air-cooled guy or girl. That's all right. But more and more things are pointing towards immersion being the future. I mean, Bitmain's even making ready-made immersion mining Bitcoin miners now. That's crazy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. The first 10 seconds of our CIO, our Chief Immersion Officer.